Am I the only one who's just wants to America? Hi and hello there, welcome to Literary Devices. I'm Adarfatuma and today I'm going to be reviewing Elite. Yeah, with all the bitching I've been doing about the first book, I still read this one. Alright, for the non-spoiler section, there really isn't very much to do seeing as it is a sequel, but if you are curious as to whether or not you need to stick to the series, then I would say if you feel like you have to stick with it, maybe not. I feel like characters haunt me when I don't finish their series, which is the one grievance that I have, the fact that I have to continuously finish. It's kind of how I finished Twilight. So if you feel like the first book wasn't that great, then the second book, it won't do very much. It won't. It might alleviate some of the pent-up hatred that you have, but at the end of the day, it is a romance dystopian book that is very how do I be nice about this? Well, I did think it was the better book. At the end of the day, though, I still don't really want to read one. If you wanted a little tidbit into what you'd be seeing if you continue to read Elite, you would essentially see America in the elite position and dealing with a lot more of what it might take to be a princess if she was to stay with Maxon, or exactly what she might be giving up if she was to go with Aspen. Everybody's relationships thicken. At the same time, everything just gets a lot more haywire. It's just a colossal mumbo jumbo of hormones flying is essentially what I can say about this book. Alright, so that's the non-spoiler section. If you want to go read it, go check it out and then come back and see if any of our notes have intercrossed. So you're here because you read the book, or you generally don't care if it ends up spoiled for you, so kudos to that. I don't know how Keira does it. I'm so furious during this entire book, but still found myself constantly reading, and it's just some sort of like sorcery that should be on the warning label of this book. I just didn't understand why I hated America so much and why everybody hated Aspen, when in reality it's like I see Aspen as the more 3D character, when Maxon's a little bit 2D, too perfect, and everybody just hated Aspen. People said they wanted him to die at the first book, and I was just like, you are evil. I did like the fact that this book did focus a lot more on the political aspect of it, because really that's all that's keeping me going so far, and the conflict between the Northern and Southerners getting quite heated. So there are two sections to how I'm going to divide my thoughts about this book, if they haven't been clearly very known, and that's going to be the OMG and the WTF. So let's go. The OMG parts would have to be 1. Celeste getting bitch slapped, because if you have any reason to stick with this series, is to get that girl, like, just why is she around? Why is she around? Actually, the reason why she's around is in my WTF section. A really sad part that got me was when Marley was being caned, and I really did, possibly the only time that I was proud of America was when she did like throw herself onto whatever like stage that was all happening and had to be pulled back by the guards. Marley getting caned was such a sad scene, and when Marley's beau, whose name I can't remember now, was like talking her through it, that was just the feels. Another OMG moment would have to be the fact that if it wasn't enough that we were being tethered left and right to see exactly where America's emotions would lie, the fact that the cherry on the cake at the beginning, the part that told her, I want to be Maxon's and Maxon's alone, was the fact that he went and threw a huge party for her. A huge party. This is enough for her to discard Aspen and say stuff like, oh, it's Aspen, you know, always trying to save me. I'm like, what the hell, America? Like, you are essentially going towards guy B because guy A doesn't have that much things that he can offer you. Of course you realize this later in the book when guy B has completely ignored you for girls B, C, and D. Like, you are just WTF section, which is essentially one, you meet Marley. Marley's alive, and you only have 10 minutes to talk to her, and what do you decide to do? Ask her of how the sex is. Really? Really? Like, your best friend, who you thought was good as dead, appears to you in life, and all you can muster in your last moments together is how she's getting it on with her new husband. She really needs to sort out her priorities. More triangles. What is happening? Everybody likes somebody else at the same time, liking this character, and it just shows that this is essentially like a Monarch version of high school, because all this true love and stuff, although very poetically written, it's just people unable to control their hormones is what it is. Nothing seems serious anymore, which brings me to the WTF moment of number 3, which is Maxon and Celeste. Reading that, I sat upright. I was having no idea, like, did I read that right? Grazing hand against next, panting, breathing, like, what? Celeste? And that just shows all you Aspen haters who thought Aspen was off being debaucherous with other girls, when it turns out Maxon is the one who so far needs a little something something so he can feel loved amongst all his problems. I did like that for the fact that it showed that Maxon wasn't perfect anymore, and that Maxon was essentially any other guy who, you know, needs his stuff fulfilled in order to, like, be happy in any sense. But I found it hilarious. I found it hilarious. I found it disgusting because it's Celeste. Like, my gosh. I swear you can't tell me that if you didn't go up to America with her hormones like off the rocket, that she wouldn't probably be able to give you what it is Celeste gave you. No, Celeste is kind of loose cannon. Okay, fine. Whatever. Also, what kind of character does it make Maxon seem if he's keeping Celeste around for the, you know, good stuff? It's so wrong. That is a summary of my review for The Elite, and although it is an excruciating book, I'm going to have to read the one because characters have been developing and plot scenes have thickened, and for the sole reason that characters like these haunt me unless I know how it ends. I desperately end up needing closure. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. Like and subscribe and check out all my other channels. I will be filming 2 today because I bought way too many books and I'm going to film a book haul. So check that out, and for God's sake, go read something.